All I eat are candy bars, baby. Tear me down to the strings that are inside of me, and then you'll see how barren I truly can be. And what's the fabric but belief? And that's the time in which we see what everybody thinks internally, all of a sudden outwardly, until the point of the needle reminds them that they can't see anything. What's the point? Well, maybe you have to figure that out for yourself. Maybe no lions really exist. Bears, they're just figments. All these wild things. But snakes are like those strings, and we think that maybe there's something that we're missing, but really, again, it's all about how much you can miss, because there are no lines. It's all a mist, and it's all about how hard you can believe. Can you really convince yourself that those are bears you see? Well, then how scared would you be that maybe you'd run back across some line where you tried to write courage? All of a sudden you wrote cowardly. You guys know me. Rather than fight the war, I'm gonna fight everybody. Then maybe in the end I can be everybody's friend, because then everybody will really know me. You know? Because it's really me. I'm not necessarily picking sides with what I see. I choose to see everything. Then maybe if all things come together in the end, why would I go to where I don't want to be? Anyways, my friend, I'm gonna try to push things until I push everything in some direction. Then maybe I can find purpose. All war is just misdirection. Unless you fight everything. Maybe when I felt the most success, it was like I was running. But like I was running from everything. Like everything had the point. Everything was trying to get me. That maybe I got the point when I was disoriented. How large everything had become. It was like I was lying in the sun. All things that were lost. All things that I thought that I needed most. It all came crashing down on me. Then all of a sudden, some seed of some tree burst out of my chest in some dream from some alien thing out in the deserts of California. Sleeping like some man that couldn't see. But what does all this equate to in the order of things? Especially the more order there is with everything. I think order is success, you see? But think of how immense the order is, especially when you count everything. There's a thought right there. You know? It's at least a thought, right? And you know what they say about thoughts? Better get with them. Otherwise, you ain't really having them. You know what I'm saying? But as with all things, seems like even time schemes that may be in the greater order of things, we're all just a feeling. And guess what? I can be in the most devastated state and still feel something. That's success. Being able to talk yourself up. from big to small. First we crawl, and then we walk tall. And then all of a sudden, you realize success after all this enormousness is just innocence. That's all success is. It's the idea that you have no business. If I could tie metaphors together, somehow I could create some track inside my mind that was like some schizophrenic skateboards design. It doesn't necessarily matter that the image has dead ends, my words. You don't really hear them, my friends. Especially when you see me. And especially when I see myself. Especially when everything on me matches. Especially when I have blue eyes. Maybe success is okay. It's okay to have success, but then we've turned it on its head. Success is like something that's not justice. It's an avid explorer, something that creates disorder. And once chaos is sown, it can call advantage its throne. But what does advantage afford me really but disparity to the things that else I see? Wantonness and melancholy. Straight lines, all of a sudden so straight, for lines and lines and lines and lines. That's imagination. All imagination is blankness. It's the stage. The stage has considered everything. That's why it's so blank. It's thoughtless. It has reality to thank for telling it that the only thing that's real is a stage that's empty. Blank. There's nothing to see here. There actually is no space. It's all solid, congealed, molded, and filled. Everything's filled out. Everything's talked about. All smoke has choked and rendered into dirty water that's such a mess that its stench smells hotter than the sun. Toxicness. But really all it is rage. It's being forbidden. It's trying to disagree. Everything disagrees with me. Because the more that I am me, the more that nothing else can be. So me is something for nobody, especially when it's really the me, not necessarily me. You see? All the us's and all the cusses, tangents, sine, and things that have came and went. But between all the lines, you forgot there's something fuzzy, and it's distance. It's the sense that when you really get this, you're really far away. And everything seems to work for you, but maybe you're just dying in some way, because let me tell you what, nothing is good for you. Absolutely nothing. Really, nothing is good for you. It's only innocence. Only innocence is success. The moment you give in to your duress is the moment that you really become vulnerable. Things could take advantage of you. They can take control. That may be all success is letting go. But you can only let go so much as you said you had control. So then all of a sudden, we've connected lines all of a sudden, and we see that letting go is a success, but to get that, we've got to mirror the image of it in some way so that the beast is somehow tame and lame. And so we try to work for all things the same, but then we forget about the me, like I said, and maybe how frightening everything really can be. Maybe that's when I ran away. I felt free, because then maybe I could see everything, and everything was around me for what it was. Then I could really be me. That's what I found when I ran away. Then all of a sudden, maybe I could work from back to back to back to forth, right? So I knew the order of chaos, and then in an instant, I wasn't lost. I had things that I felt for. Like it was what I believed. But maybe it's all been before. Would there be any way of telling that's what it wasn't was? Did I say something complex enough that it gives you some same sense of what life actually has a sense of? Was it rough enough to make you think that nature itself was tough enough to have no sense of there being some human air for someone to breathe enough? So the truth was like something that choked and squeezed enough to tell you what to do because you didn't please enough?